Hello, boys and girls, and we are going to continue to work with some fractions and decimals like we have been the last couple days, but we're going to connect it to a number line to help you continue make that visual of how fractions and decimals can relate to each other and still name the same amounts. So yesterday we focused on looking at something, for example, we have 4/10 as a fraction and how to write that as a decimal, and that they're equal, they're just written in two different ways. It's just like the equivalent fractions. There's multiple ways to write a number, but that's still equal to the same thing. So we're going to use a number line to show you how you can use that as a visual to help you compare, starting to compare and looking at how distances or amounts are different, okay? So we have our 3/5 that Jacob jogged and walked 3/10 of a mile to get to the park. So how can a number line be used to show these distances? So he jogged 3/5 of a mile and then walked 3/10 of a mile to get to the park. So how can that number line be used? Okay. Well, we have this number line here that, if I count, is split up into tenths. Okay. So we have our 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and our 10. Okay. I could also look at this as fifths. I'm going to write the fifths up above. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So if he jogged 3/5, he would be here. Okay. And then he walked 3/10. Okay. So he went another 1, 2, 3. Right. He's here right now. He went 1, 2, 3. He would be here. Okay. So how can we show those distances? Okay. Well, so far, has he made it to the park? No, because he's really only here. Okay. That's as far as he's made it so far, because he jogged to here, and then he walked, I'm going to put a W, that distance. Okay. So even though this number line is split up into tenths and fifths, we can use it to show these different amounts that he walked and jogged. Okay. But we know that he still has not made it to his end point, to this hole right here, to the park. Okay. And it's the same thing. This 3/10, okay, I could say, and this is where I wanted to connect it, I could say this is how far he walked, right? Was 3/10 of a mile. Okay. This fifth, because even though it's in fifths, if I look, okay, 3/5 is equal to our 6/10. Okay, that's where this line is coming from. 6/10 is equal to this, right? Well, we said he only made it to the 9, correct? Well, if we add 6 and 3, he's only gone 9/10 of a mile. So that's where that number line really can help us with that visual, okay? And help us seeing which amounts are the same, because even though they gave us our 3/5 and 3/10, which are two different denominators, we were able to use this number line to help us and see, well, 3/5 is the same as 6/10, okay? 3/10 is here, and we know that our 6/10 and our 3/10 together are equal to the 9/10 that he has gone so far. Let's look at another number line to help us here a little with our visual, okay? So we have our number line here to show 1.7, and we know we don't read that as 1.7. We read it as 1 and 7/10. Okay, that's how we read that number. And what that means, looking at this number line, is we have our 1 whole, okay, that's our 1. And then they split this section here into tenths, and they counted 7, so it would be 1 and 7/10. This number here, okay, is the same as saying this, okay? So 1 and 7/10. This is our mixed number, this is our decimal. Anything to the left of our decimal is our whole number. Anything to the right of our decimal is our fraction. Okay, so On the previous screen, we were dealing with numbers less than a whole, okay? On this screen, we're dealing with something that's greater than our whole. So we have 1.7 or 1 7/10, which we would read that in fraction world as a mixed number, okay? So tonight's practice problem is going to ask you to look at a number line, okay, and plot out that number and then write it as a decimal and a fraction, or maybe even in this case as the decimal and a mixed number. So it's really no different than what we were doing yesterday. We're still looking at how to write the decimals as fractions and the fractions as decimals. We're just using another way to see how we can show those decimals and fractions as being equal, and in this case using the number line. All right, boys and girls, thank you.